Off number 9 there for Manchester City, who are attacking the goal to our left. And indeed, in his pre-match talk, the manager John Bond was calling, in his own words, for a little more devilment from Manchester City today, who won their first 3 games but then lost at Notts County in midweek. So if it's a big day for Chris Jones, it's a pretty big day as well for Ricky Villa, now getting on for the first time at the start since his return from Argentina. Hartford. Well, that looked like a foul, yes, by Mabbutt on Jones. And a free kick to Manchester City. Clements has lined up the wall, he hopes efficiently. 4 in it. Bond and Power over the ball. Reeves is wide. And Caton is menacingly placed along to the left. The pass may be to him, but it's Power with a shot deflected. And a chance here, surely. And it's tucked away by Baker. And the former Southampton man puts Manchester City into the lead, his first goal for his new club. And the deflection that put Spurs all over the place. Deflection there from Power's kick suddenly allows Baker to go in. He goes round the keeper, Ray Clements, doesn't really hit it cleanly, but it's in the back of the net. It's a hot afternoon, and you can see the perspiration there on the City defender Bobby McDonald. Players would expect to lose, I would think, at least 4 or 5 pounds in weight in the course of a really hot afternoon like this. Perryman just getting in by the byline. Villa hoping to turn it back. Archibald looking for support. And a good shot by Gary Brook, turned away well by Alex Williams. Strikes a superb ball, Gary Brook. And that was one of them. And the 20-year-old goalkeeper, Alex Williams, was equal to it. Hit firmly and saved well. Baker. Hanson with the cross. Jones almost getting in with the header, and Bobby McDonald was up there as well. That would have been some comeback to White Hart Lane for Chris Jones, and he wasn't far from just getting the touch that was required. Reeves trying to turn Perryman, succeeds in finding a yard for himself, but it was Price's header away. Now can Brook get going? Asa Hartford only hit it against Brook, and now it's gone for Archibald, and Brook's run continues, and saved again by the keeper. Great run by Gary Brook. Fed all the way by his teammates, but it was he who made the running. And once again, the keeper was able to parry it, and Kevin Bond, I think it was, who came in and got it away, yes. Hartford, a little too deliberate, and Archibald can take possession. The back heel finds Crooks, the pass now finds Hazard. And the shot is turned away again by the keeper, and that must have been moving a little bit in the air. Struck well, and again, Alex Williams pushing it away. In fact, Lacey going off the field. It's only for the doctor to have a look at him, maybe stitches. Hartford's cross, and Price not really bothered, although it's a corner for Manchester City. Baker's come forward, and he in fact will take the corner, curling it in towards Ray Clements, towards the near post in fact. Brook with a chance of getting it away, deftly nicking it over Power, and finding Hazard. Back to Brook again, now to Archibald. A chance of a good breakout here as Crooks takes it up. Now can Crooks make the equaliser here? Good save by the keeper, and a great run by Spurs and Garth Crooks. But the keeper did well. It was a very good break, calling for good, accurate passing and good aggressive running. It got it all. And Crooks' shot was on target until Williams got there and pushed it away. Hazard releasing Price. Here's Crooks. Price again. Foul by Herida. A free kick to Spurs. This is normally where they would look to a Hoddle, of course, to dip and swerve and cause distress. the moment, it's Villa, who is being taken with a free kick himself, like Hazard. And it's noticeable that Gary Brooke is standing just off this situation as well, to the right. Hazard purporting to be arguing with the referee. It may be a decoy. I think it goes for Brooke. Just wide. Exciting moment, though. But the wall was lined up well. That's quite evident. And the shot goes wide a bit as one player attacks the ball, and just wide of the goal. Lacey. Brooks. Hazard. Villa. Can he finish it off? Oh, the keeper did well. Well, Ricky Villa, who came on as a sub on Wednesday night against Southampton and scored within 3 minutes of coming on, looked as though he might have added another one there through a crowd of players. It was past the keeper, in fact, before Williams grabbed it at the second go. Spurs keeping up this pressure, but they just can't find the right finishing touch. Crooks. Mavett. Crooks again. Nice little pass for Archibald, played in turn. Oh, great shot there by Perryman. Thought that was going to scream into the top corner for a moment. Played back by Archibald for his skipper, hit it first time, and wide. Spurs coming forward again, still searching for this equaliser, finding Gary Brooke. Now, can Garth Crooks get onto this one? Villa, maybe? Brooke, saved again. Hazard is going off from the midfield. Well, he's had that experience before at Wembley as well as at White Hart Lane. And Graham Roberts comes on. And at the same time, Manchester City are making their substitution, and Chris Jones goes off, and Dennis Stewart comes on. Hartford. Stewart. Hartford. Roberts. Oh, he was warned by the crowd that Baker was behind him. He's being dispossessed. Can this be number 2? It'll be an amazing one if it is. Oh, my word, what an amazing goal. But it was Roberts' error, and then an amazing lob by Graham Baker, who gets his second goal of the game, and surely now ties it up for Manchester City. The ball played in here to Graham Roberts. He was warned by the crowd, but Baker was there. Suddenly he was through, confronted by Clements, and then that. Perryman tried for all he was worth to get it out, but he couldn't. Well, that was astonishing. And now Spurs are really up against it with the 8 minutes that are left. Galvin needs something very quickly now, Tottenham, to give them a chance to get back in, and they've almost got it. They have, and Mavett has scored for Tottenham. Came in, and Roberts, I think it was, on the far side, got it across the face of the goal. Mavett went diving in bravely, and Spurs have...
Might drop for Lee. And it's Rush with the header, pushed out by Finlay, and Hodgson couldn't squeeze in the rebound. A patient move built by Liverpool on both sides of the field. Finally, the strike coming from Rush, and Finlay just with the left hand doing enough for his side. And this time an easier task for the goalkeeper. confident. Souness. Neil's got forward in this Liverpool attack. Dalglish looked towards the other fullback, Kennedy. Walsh lost his balance at the crucial moment. Recovered it well enough. Steen. Walsh has stayed onside, played onside in fact by Phil Neal. Moss is in the middle. And beautifully done by Paul Walsh. And here's Steen. And Luton are in front with their first genuine attack. And you can see how much it means to them. Paul Walsh with a delightful turn here against the very experienced defender, Mark Lawrenson, who was left without cover. And Walsh sensibly laying it back into the path of Steen, and Luton are in front. Paul Walsh evident in providing the goal. And Brian Steen has got the credit for accepting the chance. And here's Donaghy, and Steen has run offside. Well, David Pleat says about his acquisition, Paul Walsh, that he really is a babe at the game at 19, but he's got such instinctive skill. Souness beckoning those in front of him to make runs towards the Luton goal. The pass didn't get away from Donaghy. Hodgson. Now, surely he was held by Donaghy. It was a kind ricochet for David Hodgson, and it certainly threatened Luton. Hodgson looking to turn, and then was fouled. And wonders with the edict concerning professional foul about the interpretation of that. Lee. Guided down by Whelan. It drops for Souness. By the post, Graham Souness levels the count with a sweetly struck volley. Lee from the byline. Luton might have thought they'd got the danger away from the head of Stevens, but Souness set the sights and Finlay was beaten to his left. And this is Rush with Luton split and Finlay saving the day. Dinked forward by Dalglish with great vision, but Rush couldn't beat the goalkeeper. Lee's corner. Finlay committed and stretching. Souness. Blocked by Horton. Kennedy has tried to catch Luton square, but he's run offside. Making his move far too early. Lawrenson. Now Lee. The cross too close to the goalkeeper. And Jake Finlay in the Luton goal hurt himself throwing the ball out, and he's down on the ground. Looked as though he might have strained the stomach muscle. The referee, I don't think, has seen it yet. And play is going on. And Finlay finding it very difficult to get back to his feet. He has managed it. He's clearly really in no position to defend his goal at the moment. And finally, Donaghy takes the sensible course. Finlay dropped to the ground as soon as he'd thrown the ball out. Now Mal Donaghy went in goal as a deputy for Milja Aleksic last season. The substitute is Radi Antić, the Yugoslav. So Kirk Stevens, playing at Anfield for the first time, goes in at the Kop end as an emergency goalkeeper and has the presence of mind and the character to make a little joke out of it with the supporters closest to him. And he'll be sure that he'll get a sympathetic reception from those on the Kop. Here's Souness. And they wanted offside there, and Rush sprung the trap, gets round Stevens and puts Liverpool in front. Rush using his pace to devastating effect, and the emergency goalkeeper had no chance. Souness timing the pass, and it was Wayne Turner who was caught with Rush on his blind side. Rush onside and clear into the back of the net. Turner, the defender, who switched to right back in the absence of Stevens. And Ian Rush exploiting the reshuffle in the Luton defence. And here's Rush again. Dalglish, and now Whelan. Dalglish, and Rush with Stevens nowhere, and in the end put over by Hodgson, who was disappointed. A deep cross from Dalglish causing the problem. Rush climbed well. This was the chance that came to Hodgson, but he couldn't keep it down. Kop have rechristened the stand-in Luton goalkeeper as Shakin Stevens, which might be a fairly accurate way to sum up the way he'd be feeling. Here's Lee, out from Donaghy, and Souness. It was deflected. Stevens had to move sharply to stop the corner, and pleased his new fan club in doing so. Steen gets past Lee. He's now faced by Neil and passes him as well. And Thompson. And there was contact made on Brian Steen. That gives Luton a free kick with some 5 minutes of injury time already played. Taken by Moss. It's Donaghy beyond the far post, but the ball didn't get beyond Grobler. Dalglish. Here's Rush. Whelan. Kennedy's got behind Luton here. And Stevens draws applause for his work. And the last act of the half comes from the emergency goalkeeper, with Liverpool going off, leading by 2-1. The goals from Graham Souness and Ian Rush, after Brian Steen had put Luton in front. But Kirk Stevens makes his way to the dressing room, wondering whether he'll be called upon to keep goal in the second half, with the doctor being called to examine Jake Finlay for that rib injury. It always was going to be difficult for the newcomers to the First Division here at Anfield, but what a task they now face in the second half. 2 goals to 1 down. And Steen offside when he sensed perhaps an equaliser. Whelan. Now Kennedy. Comes eventually for Antiche. Lawrenson. Dalglish with Rush to his left. Against Stevens. Whelan's got into the middle. Now Hill for Luton. Moss. Getting it back from Stevens. It goes instead towards Hill. Thompson making the interception. Horton. Wayne Turner, who played left back against Aston Villa on Wednesday night. Horton. Turner again. Steen. Antiche couldn't quite make it, ahead of Thompson. And Hodgson judged offside. That must have been mighty close. Hodgson was readjusting his position. Moss. Steen. Now Antiche. And now Stevens. 3 waiting for the cross. And 2 went for the same area, Walsh and Steen. But it drops for Antiche, who got terrific power into the strike at goal. You can see the 2 Luton front men going towards the near post. But the header out from Thompson landed right for Antiche, but he couldn't keep it down enough. Now Hodgson trying to turn money. Turner got back. Not sure whether Donaghy's au fait with the 4-step rule. Too high for Rush to make anything of. Horton. Steen. Down for Antiche, and a good run here from David Moss. Kennedy's come across with him, and David Moss with a superb finish. Liverpool caught lethargic at the back, and Moss saw the possibilities early and just looped it over Grobler. Lee. It's a slightly anxious Liverpool at the moment. Dalglish. Here's Souness. And Donaghy was nowhere, but it just passed a couple of feet wide. Here's Horton. Easily read by Lawrenson. And now Neil. Souness. Whelan providing the width on the left. Souness taking over again. Neil's come into the middle of the field, but this is Kennedy. Hodgson making the jump, and then turned away by Wayne Turner. And Luton pull everyone back to try and protect Donachie again. Whelan. And here's Neil. It's an opportunity wasted. Lawrenson and Grobbelaars come charging out, with 2 Luton players arriving as well. Dalglish. Here's Hodgson. Stevens the defender. Hodgson half looking perhaps to try and win a penalty. The referee not helping Liverpool's cause then. And it was a collision with Mr. Heath that saw Souness on the ground. Russia's got a lot of ground to cover to keep it in play. Lee. Now Neil. Well read by Goodyear. Mantish, though, caught by Souness. Turner opting for the sensible course in the end. Walsh can hold it up here. He's stopped by Thompson. Liverpool trying to turn the screw. Whelan. They just can't get their shots on target. And it is amazing, really, how players get into habits and styles of play and patterns of play. And when a situation arises where there is a standing goalkeeper and the situation also calls for knocking the ball in to test him out, they haven't been able to do it. Craig Johnston warming up for Liverpool. Moss. And Steen is in the clear against Grobbelaar. He's round him. And Alan Kennedy can't keep it out. Luton are in front in the most dramatic of circumstances. And Liverpool again are found wanting at the back. Moss got it through, Lawrenson missed it. And Steen goes round Grobbelaar. Kennedy desperate to try and get back on the line, but it passes him 3-2. And Liverpool call for Craig Johnston. Whelan. Johnson has come on in an attacking role, along with Hodgson and Rush. He played for 2 hours, in fact, on Thursday night in the Lancashire Senior Cup final against Everton, which went to extra time. He was complaining before the game of feeling a little weary from it. Lee. Well, the idea was right, and Lee feels that he's been cheated out of a corner. Hill. Steen's off on one of those runs ahead of him again and had to check to stay onside. Here's Moss. And Luton certainly aren't satisfied with 3 goals. Horton. Hodgson. 3 Luton players across to deny him. Liverpool have only the throw. As we move into the last quarter of an hour. Johnston. First time from Rush. Lee thought about striking it, didn't quite come right for him, and Johnston! Mal Donachie becomes the 3rd Luton goalkeeper to be beaten here at Anfield. And the substitution pays off for Bob Paisley. Lee switched on quickly by Rush, and Johnston 3-3. The Luton bench and Jake Finlay on the extreme right is now back to be able to watch the game and needs a cigarette there to steady his nerves. Luton have to trade space. Horton across to close Lee down. Money trying to do the same to Hodgson, who got past him. Couldn't get past Turner, who came away with the ball. And possession that was hard won, wasted by Horton. Johnston's offside. Rush tries to put in the rebound. The whistle had gone. Stevens, with an acrobatic attempt, has already had his stint in goal. Used his hands, couldn't keep out Rush's follow-up effort. But Johnston was the player offside. And although the crowd react, there was no question that the decision was right. Hill with the confidence and belief that Luton are in their rightful environment to make sure they play their way in a situation where they could have been forgiven for hoofing the ball into the crowd. Hodgson. Goodyear, who's been a tower of strength. Steen. Rush, back for Souness. Johnston. Hit Turner. And Luton can use up some more time. Here's Steen. And Liverpool just can't get possession. Now Walsh. And Steen and Moss have got into the middle. Walsh losing out to Kennedy, which is a little bit of inexperience, because it's given Liverpool maybe one chance to spring forward again. The most forgivable back pass of the season. Antish. Hill. Now Horton. Lawrenson has to be back defending when Liverpool might feel that they could be going forward. Well, if this had been a military campaign, they'd be awarding medals for gallantry to Luton Town. Mal Donachie goes off, the third goalkeeper used after Kirk Stevens and then the injured Jake Finlay. Craig Johnston came on as a substitute to give Liverpool a save of face with an equaliser, but the pride really here at Anfield is with Luton Town, as their supporters acknowledge. The goals twice from Brian Steen and from David Moss. From Souness, Ian Rush and Johnston for Liverpool. The final score in a really dramatic game. David Pleat, the Luton manager, down on the pitch to congratulate his players.
It's gone in the first half. There's no offside. Good running by... Oh, brilliantly put in.